Okay, I'm back. So what I did off camera was I sewed each signature. I did a loose knot here, so that way I can work with them. And then as you can see, if you have certain patterns that you put a certain way, it's really easy to tell what direction they go and how these are all going to line up. But like I said, you're going to want to make sure that this lines up here, that lines up there, and that lines up there. And then this template, which is set to those three, is going to be placed in here. And then these will go in like that. You'll sew that in. In this case, I'm actually going to be sewing all the way through the binding. And so my strings will all match up. My ends of each place will all match up. And so you could see how, and then what I do, I leave this there. I kind of start with my center when I do this, and I'm not going to do it right now, but I start with my center one when I set this up, and first, then there's room for adjustment. So like I'll go here, and then I will, once I know this is lined up with where my papers are, I'm going to poke little holes when I'm sewing through. I mean, I could just lay this here and poke the holes in with the awl, you know, right now, but for now I'm going to save that for a little bit later before I do that. Because one thing I'm going to do is I need to cover this first, and I haven't decided what I'm going to use here yet. So, you know, maybe something like this to cover it. You know, that'll be in the center, and then the pages will hide. The signatures will hide, you know, this part here. If I don't want something so thin, I mean, this isn't very strong, but it's already strengthened. I could also use this piece if I wanted to put in there. I generally don't like to use lace unless it's stronger. I mean, I do have some stronger lace. I have this one, but it's not really wide enough to do that. So I'm going to figure that out. Like I said, I don't really want to use this one. I could, because you can't really see everything through it as far as the, I can see it, but somebody else may not. I don't really like to see the drywall tape in there, so I'm going to figure out what I'm going to use for the center. And then I'm also going to decide if I'm going to have pockets here. If I am going to have pockets on the inside, then I want to make sure whatever I put in here looks nice with this lace. So for right now, I'm really undecided on this cover. I've got some things that were given to me. I've got a piece of lace that was given to me that has a little peacock on it, and I was going to use that in the journal with some other paper, a peacock feather. I'm a little undecided. I actually kind of work through what I'm doing, and I start doing this part. And then as I'm going along, I start thinking about how I'm going to be decorating the cover. And I get a feel for it. I don't just do the cover, because I don't want to do the cover first, because I'm going to, you know, be playing with glue and paint and all that, and I do not want to ruin the cover. So I think about it as I'm going along, and I play with it, and I'll find something that I'm going to put on the cover. And then in this case, it's not going to be this, because I'm trying to use, oh, here it is. Look at this beautiful, beautiful piece of lace that somebody just sent me. It's got a peacock on it. How perfect is that? So I've got that. I've got this little guy I'm going to be using somewhere in the whole design. And then I've got some paper. I don't know. I've just got several ideas on what I'm going to be doing here. So, and then, like I said, there's going to be a peacock feather somehow. So, I'm not sure yet. So I'll sit there and have these elements sitting around off to the side, and as I see a piece of paper or something, I'll pick it up and I'll put it on here, or a piece of lace, I'll pick it up and put it on here. Here's another piece of lace I had that I could somehow incorporate. I really want to use this peacock lace, but it kind of clashes. You can see this one's a bright white and this one's antique or vintage. So, you know, they kind of don't go together unless I can find the perfect background where I can, you know, if I did an all cream colored cover, that might work. I don't know. I have a lot to think about here. So that's kind of what I'm working with so far. And then, of course, a peacock feather. Okay, so that's going to be it for this lesson. Please notice that there is paper hanging over here. I will be trimming that down eventually, but I may just fold it over too and use it for pockets within the book. So I'm going to kind of leave those out for now, sticking out. But if I didn't have those, you can see where the papers that I cut just come about 1/4 inch in for the book. So that's where we're at now. Next, I think what we'll do is we will work on making pockets and tags, things like that from some of the pieces I've already cut off. Create belly bands and different elements to put in the book as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this wasn't too boring. This to me is the most boring part. And it's not even boring, it's just tedious. This to me is the least favorite part, I should say, of me making my journals. But again, it's a necessity. That's how I do it. There's probably 3 to 10 to 20 different other ways to do it. I just know I like the method where I'm using one piece, because then I know I'm 100% consistent with where my holes are in the middle of my paper, and I know everything's going to line up. So when I'm doing the sewing, putting the thread through, I know it's all going to line up for me. Thank you so much for watching today. If you want to continue to watch how I build this, then please subscribe and hit the little bell so you can get notifications when the next video comes up. I'm going to, maybe every 3 to 5 days apart, I'm going to do these. Maybe more. Maybe you want to get through the book faster. Sometimes I like to take a break and figure out what I'm going to do next. But thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day. Have a great week. And Happy New Year.